All right. I think first things first today, I need to learn more about going live on TikTok. I want you guys, yeah, there you go. Swivel around. Swivel around. Stay there. All right.
Behind me might be the craziest high school
Whoa.
football facility in the country. And wait, I know what you're thinking.
You can chill. All right, so if I go here, profile, and then here, and then that, we'll see. I don't know. It's good that no one's here yet. I can just play around with this thing. There we go. All right. Let's see, what do we got going on here? Hello to everyone joining. I'm just trying to figure out from last night's stream a little bit more about streaming on TikTok. And I guess let's put that over there. Might need the picture-in-picture. I don't know yet. We'll see. But right now, got like an hour before work. Figured I'd have a coffee, come out here, clean up the shop. I have a giant pile of sawdust. Hopefully I have a trash bag big enough from last night's turning session. And we'll just see where it goes. But first I want to try to find out, because I'm not used to streaming on TikTok here, and I need to figure out how to be able to see if somebody comments on the separate device while doing it. So if anyone watching actually knows how to do that, post a comment, let me know. Also, it's by far my favorite coffee mug. Has all three of the original Star Wars movie posters and lightsaber handle. Best coffee mug out there, if you ask me. Maybe it could be a little bit bigger. I don't know. All right, so, and I also have something that came in the mail yesterday I want to unbox and get hung up somewhere. I don't know where we're gonna hang it. Maybe I was thinking on this back wall, because it's more of it's a functional item for the shop, something I've been needing and I use every time I go to the hardware store. But let me get back in here to TikTok real quick. Just trying to get a good understanding of how everything works in here. No, I don't want to post a video. How's everyone's morning going today? Good Thursday for everybody? I hope so. I hope it's going to be a good Thursday for me so far. What is going on here? Oh, there's a pop-up. Home. No, that's not it. Maybe if I go to live.
Guys, so Hazel is a lucky charm. You can also...
No, I don't want to do that. There's got to be a way. Somebody walk me through it. I need assistance. Watch the stream on another account? That's a great idea, actually. Okay. I should, maybe I'll do that later on here today, if I can't see anything going on. I'm right now in the current TikTok studio on iPad. We'll see if there's any tools in here. Was doing streams on YouTube, and that's pretty much the same approach. Is you can just load your account from anything to see the chat going on. It was just kind of hard last night because I didn't want to use this front-facing camera to record, even though I probably could have. Maybe I will next time, especially with this camera that I'm or the tripod that follows you around. It doesn't really matter. But I'm not seeing anything tool-wise inside the application. Live events, I should have probably done that. Live incentive programs, sure. I don't think anyone's gonna ever donate anything, so that's fine. Don't have to worry about that. I'll take this inside with me later. I don't want to just be sitting there on a device while you guys are on a device watching me look at a device. I don't know. It was weird. All right. So, got this in the mail yesterday from a content creator on YouTube. I don't know, maybe on TikTok too, but I've been following a ton of his work over the years. It's from Shop Nation, and he had made this guide, this drill like bolt sizing guide. And when I ordered it, I actually thought it was 3D printed with just pegs and screws. These are just like the ones you can use at the hardware store when you're trying to find the right size that you need for a project. And that seems to be something I've done almost weekly now, is need to find the size of a screw, need to find the size of a nut, go down to the hardware store. And almost weekly now is need to find the size of a screw, need to find the size of a nut, go down to the hardware store and get it. Now this is all aluminum. It's not 3D printed as I thought it was gonna be. And then I also ordered the wall mount holders that are 3D printed. Maybe this is why I thought it was 3D printed. But they actually have magnets built into the back. So once it's screwed up to the wall, it'll hold it just so you can use it on the wall, but then you can also easily take it off. Thought this was kind of cool. And, for the fact that it's aluminum versus actual plastic, it makes it even better. But I was thinking maybe of mounting it right here. I don't know. I don't know if it really makes sense with all the lathe tools. We could go over here, but then I feel like it's kind of out of the way. Shoot. I think right here for right now will probably be a good starting point. Only thing, I don't think they give you any mounting hardware. So let's see if we can actually, because we know there's a stud here due to the seam. There's another stud right there. I don't know if I want to do wall anchors. Maybe. What do you guys think? Is that a good spot to hang something up right back there? I mean, I kind of like the color. You also got to think I'm gonna still, once I get this bathroom remodel done, paint this wall so it's not going to be this horrible yellow color. It'll probably just be a base neutral white, and/or we'll do some. I was thinking like wood boards, kind of like French cleats, but not a French cleat. More of just like a wide board, just like a slat wall. Not really for anything other than like visual appearance. I just kind of like that look, and then you kind of have that depth between the board and the wall that you get to see. So, what are your thoughts? Right here? I wonder if we can. I might actually have some anchors that work. And if I miss a comment, I'm sorry, I'll try to scroll back as often as I can. But if not, I'll just keep talking. I'm talking to myself. Because that's how we do it. And we got about, 40 some ish minutes. Don't have to start work until after 9 o'clock. Oh, but here's the, how would I best show off this? Let's see here. You guys can almost see. Let me see if I can angle the camera down a little bit. You don't need to be looking at the ceiling as much. Whoa. Whoa there, my face is over here. There we go. Let's see. I could always move you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can kind of get the grasp. I got about a, I don't know, 3 foot wide, and in the center it's about 4 inches tall pile of sawdust down here from these bowls that we were getting once turned last night. If anyone wasn't here, we're starting to turn some of these guys for a craft fair coming up next year. So I wanted to prep a whole bunch of bowls. So these are very tiny black walnut bowls. Came from an actual large tree branch that fell in a storm on our property about 2 years ago. And then we'll also have some, I don't know if this is oak or maple. Got this from a buddy, had some trees that were felled. And so I'm also making some of this. This one had a split run across the top, so kind of trying to seal that just on the side so I can retain it, because most of this will be chunked out when we start actually turning the bowl. Yeah, but we have a whole bunch of inventory back here we got to get through. I think before we start cleaning up, before we do anything, let's have a little like show and tell of wood projects to come, and some of my favorites. So I got this giant beast here. So this is a large bowl blank that I got roughed up. This will be the next large bowl that I finish. This is a piece of spalted maple from this is a reoccurring theme here. A tree that fell in a storm on our property, but this tree fell on the shop. So it's getting made into bowls. I got one more blank down here from the same log this one came out of. That'll also be made into a bowl. And then I probably got about, I don't know, 50 some logs out back that haven't been processed still. So that one looks good. We get a lot of good wood from this spalted maple that we had. I'm trying to think if I have. Oh, there they are. I think this is it. Oh no, these were ordered. Those were ordered. Never mind. Oh, this is kind of fun. So I'm not a huge, I'm not full of wood knowledge, let's put it that way, but I do like different species of wood and different types. And I just picked this branch up as I was cleaning up our old area of having our wood storage. I just wanted to cut the end off of this branch, and I don't think I've ever seen a more perfect, well, it's not really perfect because there's a little knot in it, but a more tightly spun grain pattern on a log like this thing. And then no splits whatsoever. This thing's been cut open without any anchor seal on the end for a good shoot. I think I cut this end off here about 2 months ago, and there's still no checking on this. But this is the end. This is how it came to me as a branch. It's just a branch, not sealed, not nothing. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I just love how this is. Maybe I'll make some small little coasters for the shop or something. Just nothing special about it. It's just something fun that you run across while turning. What one of my pieces I can't wait to get to. And when did I last check this? 325.25. The moisture was at 17.2. We are pretty low now, so maybe I could get to it. There is a channel on YouTube called Out of the Woods. And it's a guy in Tennessee that has a sawmill. I've been watching him for years and always wanted to get some of the wood that he saws up because, you know, just because I've been a fan of the channel. So he finally put up earlier this year some black walnut turning blanks. I forget what the size of it. This might be an 8x8. Let's see here. It's a 7. It's about 7 3/4 by 7 by 3 inches deep. So this will be a bowl that goes into just my private use collection, just because I like the blank, or I like the channel and the guy. But another cool thing, come over here to our chaos corner. He recently, I don't know, within the past, I think it was in July. I think it might have been July. He put up some other, I think this is oak planks here. And these were sawn at a sawmill that was horse powered, if I'm not mistaken. So I got 3 of these boards this size. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. Was thinking maybe ripping it down the center on at least one of them, making some like thin like clipboards, stuff like that, for, you know, restaurants, bars, whoever needs a small clipboard for receipts and stuff like that going forward. But I'm thinking that's what, same person though, Out of the Woods. If you haven't checked him out, I would highly suggest it if you're into just watching logs get turned into boards. I don't know what's fascinating about that to me, but I can't get enough. And I can't get enough coffee. All right. If you guys are having a good Thursday, why don't you leave some likes, hearts? What are they called here on TikTok? Let's get some likes on this video. The stream last night had, gosh, a couple hundred, I want to say. I don't think we're going to reach that. I know it's early morning Thursday. Everyone's still tired, but, you know, let's get a handful. I want to get this. I'm tired of walking on this stuff. Back to the chaos corner to hopefully find some trash bags. And this actually is a lot cleaner than it used to be. Oh, I think I see the box. But all right. Last trash bag. Perfect. So I started cleaning this up over the weekend, as I was watching football out here. And this giant box back here, I have nowhere to store. I was thinking I was going to put it over there in the corner with all the giant pallets of glass that came with this shop when we bought the house. That's right, you heard me, pallets of glass. If anyone has needs for a 4x8 sheet of glass, hit me up. It's just sitting here. Give it to you for free. I just want it gone. I think I got 4x8. I think that's like a 3x7. So much glass. All old. The family that lived here before us owned a hardware store. And so they used this shop space in the attic above us as overflow storage for the shop. So it's, you know, been fun finding some things that we can use. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can't use, like the glass. I don't really know what to do with a whole bunch of old, you know, glass from the 70s, 60s, and 70s. But leave a comment if you're interested. I think you lost me again. Not that hard to keep track of. Like, look, this little broom. This came with the house. This was from the hardware store. Didn't have to buy it. Perfect size for getting underneath the lathe and just, you know, sweeping up piles of sawdust. Nothing says Thursday morning like cleaning up Wednesday night's mess. If there are any woodworkers, wood turners watching the stream, when do you guys clean up right after the project, or you do it like the next day? Sometimes this might take me like a couple weeks to get back to. But trying to keep things cleaner around here, especially as we open up more of the shop and get rid of a bunch of junk that we're not using to then get stuff that we are using. Wow, got a lot of people coming through. So even if you stay for 10 seconds, let's leave a like. See if we can get to like 50 likes on this stream. 50 likes of watching someone clean up sawdust and talk about the shop. But we'll get this cleaned up, and then I'm going to try to see if I can find some anchors, since I don't think I have a... Oh, maybe over here. I think I used... One of the pluses about having exposed rafters is I kind of know where the studs are. And I guess once you find where one is, you kind of know where most of them are. As this part of the garage was a later addition, so hopefully we're 12 to 18 on centers for studs in the wall. My gosh, you wouldn't think these little tiny guys would create this much sawdust. And it was all that black walnut, those little bowls, were from one branch. It was probably, well, I know it was 6 inches in diameter, but probably, what did I get, 3 on each side? Maybe 4 on each side? It's quite a bit. So kind of lucrative. It really made me, when I started milling that up last week, really made me consider, when we have storms around here and trees are falling, people just put wood out by the road. I don't know if they do that around where you guys are. But I think, you know, I'm going to start looking on trash days and drive around and see what kind of free wood I can get. Because I got plenty of room to store some wood and let it cure. I mean, that's what these ones been sitting in here for a couple of years. Down on the bottom, got some more of the oak. Maybe some of it's maple from my buddies that had some trees come down. It's another thing, getting a hold of some arborists, maybe buying some fresh cut logs, especially if there's burls and such around. The rest of this can get cleaned up with the vacuum. I gotta like move slow on this camera, or else it just loses track of me. So one thing I do out here is I've got a couple 5-gallon buckets, and I'll bring them over when I'm milling on the bandsaw or on on the lathe or cutting anything. It's always throw my offcuts in a 5-gallon bucket, and then we have really good dry wood to start a bonfire out back when we do that. Let's get back to the coffee. I think that's what we really need. I can't tell. I need to put like a level on this camera. I think this camera thinks I want it to pause all the time. All right, so back to the wood. We were talking about my favorite pieces. We covered the nice wood pattern on this branch. We got the out of the woods black walnut turning blank. One piece I can't wait to turn, and it's not one piece, there's 4 of them. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. Thought about cutting them up, gluing them together. I thought about keeping them how they are, but I have 4 blocks. I'll bring this over. It doesn't look like much, but there's some nice quilting on here, a little bit of spalting. This is mango. I have 4 blocks, pretty much this size. Ordered on, got it from eBay, from a guy in Hawaii that makes ukuleles, I want to say, or guitars. So kind of cool little blocks. I thought about seeing if I could turn them around, maybe vertically like this, and use them for cups or something. I just haven't. I don't know. There's not a lot of wood, so it'll be small, whatever. Maybe shot glasses. That might be fun. But I just haven't had the nerve to cut into them, I guess. And all 4 of them, you can put all 4 of them together, and they make a chunk of wood about yay big. But this one's cool. Doesn't really hold sentimental value. I just like the looks of the wood, so maybe I should try to find some more mango out there. Let's see, what else do we have? This right here. This is fun. This kind of goes along with the history of the house here. When we moved in, there were some shrubs out front, and this is the trunk from that shrub. I've already turned one of these into a bowl. There's actually a video on my YouTube channel about it, and I'm sure I'll get the video up here on TikTok at some point. Very beautiful wood when you actually carve into it. So they make for, pretty good like live edge bowls. I use mine to, keep my keys and wallet in. That's what I throw it in. But I still got two more logs of that just sitting here curing, and we tore those out about 2 years. 2 years seems to be the timeline here with everything I got going on. But yeah, just a bunch more oak down here. And here is, still have one? No, I got 2. So just to give a visual representation for anybody that wasn't here last night. This is the black walnut blanks that we started with. As you can see, it's just a quarter of a log, and that makes this. Of course, this one will be a lot smaller than this one, but that's how it comes out. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool to see that these were once unioned together. All right, back to our coffee. This right here, this is a giant maple dowel, is pretty much what it is. Hard maple. Had a buddy reach out wanting a hard maple rolling pin, so I ordered up a big chunk of it. There's just a few spots right here in between these lines, which you may or may not be able to see on camera, that I still gotta sand down and make perfect, and then make sure this whole thing is completely flat, which having trouble with that part. So always seems to be one issue. And then, you know, same friend sent me this piece of black walnut from his yard. So this is a piece of black walnut from Iowa. And what that's going to do, once I'm done with his rolling pin, if you want to follow me this way, you guys stopped following me. I'm over here. Slowly walk, I'll slowly walk this way. So he sent out, he had this old cast iron pot, of course, missing the handle. So he wanted to take a piece of black walnut from his land. I'll come back into frame so it can see me. He wanted to take a piece of black walnut from his land and get it turned down for here. So not very complex. It's going to take a little bit of finagling and a little bit of different turning here on the end, as we have to go from, I don't know if you can see this, we have to go from circle to kind of a rectangle inside this handle, but it's doable. Should be a fun afternoon on stream project we can do for that. Here once I finish that rolling pin, which has not been the easiest for just something that's pretty much a giant dowel. Other projects out here, I don't know if you get, yeah, you can see it from over there. This is the rest of the trim for the bathroom remodel. I've got 3 of the 4 walls all trimmed out. We're kind of doing a board and batten up there. So that's the rest of the material for that. We need to then start tiling the shower. Wish I could hire somebody to do it, but I'm way too cheap for the cost of tiling anything. Also, I hate tiling things, so if anyone knows a good tile service that's, no, I'm just gonna say good tile service in the Cleveland area, you know, let me know, post a comment. All right. Is there anything anyone wants to see out here? We're just, you know, we're just cleaning up. We're just having a chit chat. Anything we want to talk about? I haven't been keeping up on comments. I am very sorry. I will get, if there are any, I will get back to you. I promise. Sometime today, probably later today after work. Here's another piece we can talk about. So this rolling rack here, I've had, gosh, since my mid to late 20s, I want to say. I had a recording studio. I thought I was going to be an audio engineer. That was going to be my career path, and life took, you know, a different approach for me. But this is one of the few things I still have left over from the studio. I just wasn't able to sell it. But I do like the fact that it's tall, it fits in this space. It's not all the way up to the ceiling, and it's on wheels. It's easy to move around. You know, right now it's just holding some offcuts, but I'm gonna build some shelves, and let me see if I can find. I'm all about reusing things that, you know, I already have, right? So everyone wants to save money. This was just a little Christmas tree like box I was building a couple of years ago, but they kind of make, I have 4 of these kind of nice little trays. So I'm thinking about building some shelves in here that can slide out, and you can see they're not wide enough, so I don't want to cut it. But I'm going to build some shelves that can pull out, have some storage on this side, and then over here I was thinking of using this for screw storage. That way we can get rid of this wobbly shelf that was here when I, you know, bought the house. So that's the plan. That's the plan for this. Probably have 4 shelves from for hardware, maybe some other static shelves. I just gotta. I thought this had rails. If you know anything about rack systems, they have screw-mounted rails on the front. I thought it also had them on the back, but it doesn't. So I have to find or make brackets or just drill into the back. No one's ever gonna buy this thing from me. That will let me screw in from the front and somehow adhere on the back, so it's just secure. I think most of the time, most of the rack hardware for audio recording, at least the stuff I had, only went back about 8-10 inches. So it didn't really need that back support. It was just held up on the front. But yeah, that's another project coming down the road. As you can see, we have tons of overflow storage up here. Got some fun pieces like this box elder. Picked this up in the Smoky Mountains region of North Carolina, actually, not Tennessee side. So I think it was in Silva, North Carolina. There was a little store and they had live edge boards for sale. So I bought this piece of box elder while I was there, just because I like the look. And then if I move these back over here, also bought a piece of rainbow poplar. And to be fair, that was probably 6 years ago is when we were down there. Just haven't done anything with these. They just sit up there, but I'm gonna make pretty nice charcuterie boards, I would say. Just got to figure out the design. I don't know. Like this one looks cool on this way because it's so long. But when you flip it over, you notice that some of this tip is just all bark. And I may leave it. I know usually you don't. But the fact that this has been sitting in my shop for 6 years and it hasn't separated makes me think that it might actually stay on there. So I might just have to trim off a little bit here and give it a clean, but we'll see. One of these days in the winter, we'll need a project to work on. One of those boards will pop up. A lot of these boards over here, especially the ones that are in the back up against the wall that I don't want to get to right now, because it's a lot of moving, came from my uncle's barn. His father, if I'm not mistaken, worked at a sawmill, put some stuff in their barn. Gosh, this thing is very touchy on if I hold my hand up like a stop. Yeah, so I got a lot of free lumber over there from my uncle, which I'm very grateful for. Let's get back to finishing this coffee. I only got about 20-25 minutes left before I gotta get into work. Another fun thing. I don't know how far. I might have to actually bring you guys with me. Here, look at that. We can do it. All right. So another fun thing. Where did that come from? I need to go inside. We got, let's see if I can get it in frame here. We got a full-size whiskey barrel sitting here. I think it's just going to be used as a table in the shop, mainly probably over at my dartboard. But it's from Cleveland Whiskey. So whiskey company here in Cleveland. I had a buddy that worked there, was able to get me a whiskey barrel from them. And I love it. I've always wanted a whiskey barrel. But one of the cool things is they take apart their whiskey barrels sometimes. So I also have, this is, if you're not a woodworker and you're thinking about getting into it and you don't have storage for wood, make storage for wood your first priority. Because I just have, there's wood everywhere here. So I actually have some bits of whiskey barrels here that they cut up for various things. So I got a bunch of chunks like this big, and they are curved if you can't tell. So it's will be a kind of unique piece. Maybe I always thought about doing like a whiskey smoke, like a whiskey smoker to put on top of your glass. That's an idea. But I also have these big ones, full size. And I wanted to get one of these because I have another friend. You know, I throw darts over here. And he had a shelf for his darts out of a whiskey barrel. So I just got to, you know, drill the holes in, but I think that's what I'm going to do here. Clean up the front of this a little bit, put these in as a dart hole. Wow, look at that, I hit a bullseye. Probably couldn't see it, but I definitely hit a bullseye. So I got two of those big long ones. Might cut them in half. They don't need to be that big to hold darts, really. So maybe we'll have something like that available at some point in time. There'll only be a couple. What else? What else do we got out here? Anybody got any questions? Let's keep on moving here, and just to prove a point. Let's see. Can you see it? Can you see it? There's a dart. Actually, if I do this, because it'll look at me, and then if I flip camera, there you go. Look at that. Just randomly threw a bull. Boop. Back to me. All right, hopefully this doesn't make anybody seasick. Let's actually just put you over here now, this way. You guys now live in the corner of chaos, which the corner of chaos has consumed my coffee. Has anyone seen where I set my where I set my coffee cup down? I see it. It's over here. It's over here. And here's another look at, you know, I'm always out here rearranging things. I'm never loving the actual layout that I have things in. Have a grinder. My sharp grinder is over here. Very old grinder. I think this was actually my great uncle's. But it used to live right to the right of where you guys are now, right next to my bandsaw. I kind of wanted it closer to the actual tool I use it on the most. But I think I need to slide everything this way. As I was sharpening last night, and I was hitting this metal pegboard, which, funny enough, also came with the house. And on the back of the screw and bolt cabinet that's behind you guys, there's another one there, and I think I have one up in the attic. So that's something I don't have to buy, but it's not like current size pegboard. It takes the smaller one, which I do have some things for that. Probably eventually we'll put in better French cleats here. This is my project board. And up here, if you guys can see, this is the lathe I got started on. I learned how to turn on a 1936 Craftsman lathe, and one of these days I'm going to do a setup video of that. One of my dad's neighbors, he's in his, I think he's in his 90s now. His father had a cabinet shop down in Virginia or North Carolina. So when they were selling that property, they had to clean out the barn, and my dad dug this lathe, and shockingly, all the parts, everything is here except for the set screw here on the tailstock, and even the motor, or I don't know, it's not original motor. It's not a 1936 motor, but I have a motor underneath my bandsaw. So they brought it up to me. I cleaned it all up, got it refurbished, built this. My outfeed table was actually built to hold that lathe that has screw downs on it, so you can tie it down in a place to mount the motor. That might actually be a fun video to shoot. I haven't turned on that thing. When did I buy this? I bought this Raycon about 3 years ago, so it's probably been 3.5, 4 years since I've turned on that. And this motor isn't the best. Probably need to buy a new motor. You get about 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes max, turning before that thing starts smoking like crazy. I took it apart. I cleaned it as best as I could. I'm sure I could probably clean it better. It's just a very old motor that was left in a barn covered up by stuff. Just starts smoking after a while. It's pretty crazy. But it, works. Actually, I think this piece, as funny as it is to retain things, that's part of being a woodworker and wood turner, is hoarding wood. This is a piece of probably a 2x4 that I was learning how to cut on. So now anytime I bring somebody over, I just throw this on the lathe and let them get used to using the tools if they've never turned before. But yeah, still funny that I have a piece that I learned how to turn on about, 6 years ago, seven, 8. Who really keeps track of time these days? Nobody. What? Man, my hand is just like this, and they thought they wanted me to stop. These TikTok camera mounts. This has been fun. Still need to figure out, maybe a better solution for this is actually over here. What if I mounted this here? Huh. That could work. I don't really have too many French cleat mounts. I do have these ones from A Glimpse Inside, another content creator on the YouTube and TikTok space. Love his channel. Check his work out. Makes some great CNC stuff for French cleats. I need to buy some more from him, but that's about it, other than my helmet mount there. But let's put these on and see. Because it doesn't need much. I'll probably hang one there. Well, yeah, I could probably do that. Let's just, what else do we have going on, right? It's a, you guys are stopped again. Oh my gosh. I might have to clean that lens. What else do we have going on a Thursday morning right before work? Let's get this done so we can have it at least be displayed. It's gonna drill. Also got, there's two boxes of wood turning blanks over there. Don't tell anybody. Still gotta do an unboxing on those. It's good stuff though. All right, I just need 2 screws. Will there be screws in this first box? Yep. Just need 2 wood screws. Bum, 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 bum. All right, I just need to change the bit. I know I just saw one. There we go. And do I have a small... I do. I knew I had one somewhere. If you guys ever buy TV wall mounts, they all come with little tiny levels, and I save each one just for projects like this. And because they're tiny, I lose them. So then you find a whole bunch of tiny little levels hidden all around the place. All right, so I think we figured out let's just do perfect, and then I could actually let's get a longer screw in. Doesn't need it, but do I even have long screws in there? I don't. That one doesn't have long screws. Where are my long screws? Construction screws, 2 inches. Not long enough. I need like a 3. 1. 2" by 9. I know I had some gigantic ones. If I was a screw, there's nails. This will work. I might have moved too quick. These are 3-inch screws. What did I buy these for? I think when I built the log rack out back, that's what they're from. But now, gotta get a different drill bit. I'm just gonna sink it into the drywall. Doesn't have to. The first wood screw is holding all the weight. And this will just act to help stabilize it. There we go. I didn't even look to see if that was level. I went and got the level for everything. Oh, we're good. We're so good. All right, so now put that on there. Nope. Well, I take the screw out of my hand, because then I can hold that with 2 hands and take it off. The best is when you lose sight. I think that's it. That. This bottom one only has 1 screw, so we have to level it. And then if we did our job correctly, we didn't. We used the wrong dimple. Oh, I see the one I should have used. It's right there. That makes sense. I mean, that looks a lot better. Make sure it's level. There we go. Perfect. I'll use that all the time. I had my tool rest. I lost the set screw on it, so I actually had to take the tool rest. I don't know if you can see that little set screw right here. I had to take tool rest down to Ace Hardware and use theirs here to get a rough idea of just what size screw that was. But, you know, isn't very expensive, but man, oh man, the quality in this, I don't know, doesn't have a maker's mark on it, but knowing Shop Nation, I would say possibly American made. Feels like it. But then again, it could not be. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to do some digging. Very nice piece of kit. We'll be definitely checking out some of their other offerings. There's another maker, her name's April Wilkerson, and I have a sign that I bought from her. It's like a drill conversion chart. So, you know, quarter inch to like decimal points for all drill bit sizes. I bought it at our old house. We moved here in 2021. It made the trip. I remember boxing it up, but I haven't been able to find it. It's somewhere. One of these days it's going to turn up. I don't think it's in this. You know, if I was smart, I would have put it in a drawer, because I only have a couple drawers out here. But I don't think I did. I've been looking for it. I've been thinking about it, and I almost ordered a new one. But part of me is like, you already have one. Why are you going to order a second? Doesn't make any sense. And this is my drawer. I think I made a video a while back. My drawer of tool manuals that I never use. Just need to digitize them and or throw them out. I think I just Google everything anyways. But yeah, I don't know where it could be. The only other place could be up in the attic. And I rarely go up there. Though, if you want to see something cool, I don't know how I'm going to show this. Maybe I'll show it. Live will... We have detected inactivity during your current live. Oh, well. I think I'm still live. Still shows people are here. TikTok just thinks we're inactive. You know what that means? Leave a like. If you haven't hit a like yet, leave a like. I'm going to show you something fun from the previous homeowners. So behind me, let me stop the camera. All right. Behind me is the stairs, right? So we have these stairs that lead up to the attic door. And it's a trap door, but you don't push it from the bottom. If I tilt you guys up just a little bit more, you see that there's this old spool of wire and a handle, all made from just random old hardware store parts. And if we give this a crank, it lifts up, and then we take this hook, which I don't even know what it's from, and we slide it through. It's so cool. Like, who would have ever thought? So when you go up into the attic, it goes up to a pulley in the rafters and then just pulls the handle up. Like, I would have never thought to create something like that. And another cool thing down here, let me just turn you a little bit. So this is the light switch to turn the lights on in the attic. So now we have light up there, which you can kind of see. But since this was overflow for a hardware store, there's a light that turns on outside of the garage where we park cars to let you know that attic light's on. Somebody's working in the attic. So if you need to, you know, find somebody that's up there looking through inventory, you know, hey, they're up in the attic, not going through the shop. Because the rest of the shop here wasn't wide open. It was rows and rows of just shelving units put together, like the one over here and the one that's up against the wall. Those are the only two that are remain. The rest I pitched because they were just not in the best of condition after so many years. But I always think this is cool. I love this. I'll never get rid of this. I like that light turns on. I've never replaced that light bulb. And then, you know, eventually one day, because this is a full walk-up attic, stretches the whole length here and the whole length that way. It's about the size of an apartment. We'll eventually probably get rid of these stairs here, which will be amazing, and put a staircase entry from outside and actually finish it off and make it into an apartment. But that's a task for years down the road, because first we need to get like sewer and water ran out here, which is not cheap, and a whole new electric panel ran. Because the day we get a bathroom out here is the day I will be happy. That'd be amazing. We have running water. It's just cold, and it only works in the winter time. But I have this giant, or not, doesn't work in the winter time because the lines aren't buried deep enough. But got this old sink. So just have one water line coming into it. Don't really use chemicals in there because it just drains out into the flower bed, which does help the flowers. But let's see. Does this thing tell me how long we've been going for? I think we give it about like another 3 minutes. I'm pretty much done with my coffee, and I gotta go jump on work here at 1/4 after the hour. So let's see. Does it give us? I don't even know what time I started, and I don't think anyone is here from when I first started, which is fine. It's good to see people just coming in and out. Hey, look at that! Someone got the #1 gifter badge. Congrats! Congrats on that. Let's see if we can leave some more likes on the video before we're done. If you enjoyed anything I've said, if you enjoyed the channel, don't really have much up for sale right now on the TikTok shop. Mostly just there's some like can koozies and shirts and stuff. But as we get some bigger bowls, some vessels, some vases and stuff like that, they'll be popping back up. I kind of pulled everything off that we had up there currently to take to craft fairs and stuff. So we'll be selling those in person in the Cleveland, Ohio area. All right. Well, we got 2 minutes. Let's go to 9:10. Anything else? Anybody have any questions? Questions, concerns, thoughts? We've got a lot of projects coming up. I need to... Hello? Are you watching me, camera? I don't think it likes me. There it goes. This thing is fickle. Maybe I got an off-brand. I don't know. I do like the fact that it follows you around, but it can get jumpy. You gotta walk slow. Maybe it's dirty. We do create a lot of sawdust out here. But yeah, my coffee is almost gone. And it's time to start the work day. So I hope everyone has a great day. Great Thursday. Get out there, make something in your shops. I'll be out here tonight. Might pop back on the stream. So if you're around, 7, 8 p.m. EST, take a look. So follow the channel if you're not already. Leave a like on this if you liked what you were watching, and leave a comment on a video. I usually try to post something here every day around 10 a.m. Yeah, got a ton of stuff coming. Can't wait to make something new. I'll talk to you guys. This thing is going crazy. Talk to you guys next time.